Welcome to the Course I Talk with Eric. My name is Eric Wilson, your host, and today I'm talking with Green Rim Basketball himself, 2020 Class 5 Coach of the Year, or as many may know him as Coach Kenneth Harris. How are we doing today, Coach?
Good, man. Good. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
You know me as Mr. Harris too, man. We can many names, man.
Yeah. I really appreciate you coming on to the podcast today.
No doubt, no doubt. I appreciate you you wanting to do this. I'll personally start off by saying how proud I am of you and what you're doing and the things that you're gonna be in the future. And I look forward to really following everything that you're doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. See, we started in ninth grade when you're my just my gym teacher, and it's great.
I can honestly, Eric, man, and it was when you coming in as a ninth grader to really know that, I've been teaching for almost, man, 15 years now. Man, I've never had a student that was passionate and especially I was always excited to talk basketball and sports. And it just, when I used to talk to you, especially as a freshman, the things that I used to hear you talk and how you do things and what you wanted to do. And you always followed it, man. So, I hope people that you inspired some people. You actually, hopefully one day, man, I'm just because of having somebody like you and something we always talked about was doing look, I didn't even know they had podcasts back then. We used to say doing interviews. I used to tell you sit there, we're gonna sit on the middle of the court, man. So, just to see you doing it, I'm hoping a student can come along so I can actually I want to do like a game by game. So you inspired me, man. You inspired a lot of people, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Because without you, I don't think I would probably be even doing it right now. I came up to you. I think it was around the end of basketball season. I didn't really know what I was doing. You really got me in touch with, Matthew Hatfields and the big names in the business. So I really appreciate you for just showing me, what I had to do to start out.
Yeah, and we got a big name, Eric, on what's the show? Eric on the court with Eric. So what's up, man?
Yeah, we're gonna dive into the first question. You had another great season this year, going 9-1 in this COVID weird season, and eventually going to the state championship again. What are your thoughts and outlooks on the season?
It was definitely a season that was quick because of the pandemic and COVID situation that we had to jump into a season with limited games. We only were able to play a beach game. A lot of times, we try to, especially with the team that I had this year, you know, wish we could have challenged them. We were supposed to have played Kingsford. We were supposed to have been in the Virginia Preps. It was things that probably, you know, we really needed going into the playoffs. But I mean, other than that, man, we were just thankful to even have a season. So, especially with the kids, and I mean, you got to think about it. Them seniors came in with you, so they were ninth graders, and I mean, I'm pretty sure you was glad we had was able to see some basketball. So, I was glad that we had a season and we finished. We didn't finish like we wanted to, but it was still a successful season and some of the accolades that we did have during the season.
Speaking of those seniors, you had some really talented and great ones this year. For example, Class 5 Player of the Year, Elijah Kennedy, and 2020 Class 5 Player of the Year, Jacob Cooper, Florida State commit George Wilson, and key role players, Adric Gill and Jaden McIntosh. So how do you try to replace those great seniors that you had last season?
They had to replace somebody too. So we're just gonna continue to do what we do, and that's get after it. You can't replace them by how they play. There was a very good fresh senior class, and and going back to how good that class really could have been, that those five stuck with it, and they did a lot of big things throughout their career at Green Ryan. So I hope we got another class that's coming in, man, that or kids that just come in and ready to step in step in their own shoes to make their own mark at Green Ryan.
Yeah, those some very big shoes to fill, in my opinion. I might be biased since they're in the same class as me, but you got a talented scorer as Elijah Kenny and a great playmaker in Jacob Cooper, and even George Wilson on the boards, Adrian Gill coming off the bench, giving in clutch buckets and clutch rebounds, and even
Yes,
Mister
you did.
Mac three himself, Jaden
Oh
McIntosh, setting
man,
all those threes. So that's a very big, very big shoes to fill. But I feel like at Green Run, you guys are gonna have a great season and try to fill those shoes very quickly.
definitely, man. I can't wait to see it. I was told we get to have an off season, and that was one of the things we didn't get to have this past. Yeah, we didn't get to have an off season. We had a real quick one, and one of the things that I wanted was to have one just so those younger guys can see how hard the seniors that I had get after it, and how they're going to continue, and all. Even with the short period, those seniors they did a good job of trying to show our young guys like this is how it's gonna be done. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be some tough times. You're gonna need each other, leadership, the discipline part, getting after it, grades, our Camp Newmans, our practices, like everything that's going on, man, you have to be mentally focused for it. And when you put that green run across your chest, y'all gonna have to be ready to play. So I'm very proud of those teams.
Yeah, they had a great run. Speaking of their 2020 run, you finally got over the hump in
Mm-hmm.
2020. You made it to the 5A state championships. The final versus Northview was then canceled, and you both were crowned co-state champions. How does it feel? And are you satisfied, or are you satisfied?
No, you can't be satisfied. First of all, to everybody wish we could have played the game, and I still felt that it would have been probably one of the best state games in state history because of the game that we did have. But even with how we played in this year in the pandemic, and I guess we created our own little bubble going on. So getting to the state championship was that feeling was still good. It was the ride up, everything about it. So it made me more hungry to even when we lost the game. I looked and said, man, this is somewhere I always want to be. I want to my goal. Our goal is to as a coach, is to change our young men to men, and get these guys in school, whether if it's basketball, academics, doesn't matter, or doing something productive in life, and teaching them values and also winning games, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, I agree with you. That probably would have been one of the best state, championships ever. As you
Mm-hmm.
guys did face each other in the regional 5A championships and defeating them in the final in the overtime, which was just
Yeah,
hectic. I was there. I was in the back. That was also a great one, and it was just great to see Green Run be on top. After the years of just getting there and getting there and getting there, but just falling off the cliff and not being able to.
that's right. That's right. I mean, that's the part of playing basketball. You got to win some, you lose some. So it's something we didn't do right that we're gonna work harder and trying to get better at doing it for the next go around. You're always learning every day. I learn every day. Whether it's from shoot, man. I'm learning from you as a student. I'm learning from my players. I'm learning from other teachers. I'm learning from coaches. So we always learning in this thing. So we're gonna try to get back. But hopefully it's down there where you going to school at VCU, and we can try to play in that thing like that, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to be there and support my Stallions. Next question. Throughout your tenure and coaching at Green Run, what has been your greatest or proudest moment?
Ooh, my 2 year coaching at Green Run, the greatest and proudest moment,
Yes, sir.
man. It's a lot. I mean, I've been there about going on 13 years now, man. I mean, obviously, winning the state is definitely great, but I mean, there's a lot of things with kids going to school. Man, I don't have one in particular because there's so many, but you know, just being able to coaching young men at an opportunity that and getting a job, man. Like when I started off, I didn't think it was hard becoming a head coach, and um, I had people telling me that just something that I wouldn't be able to do. That you couldn't run a team, and able to take the job and taking it with a risk of not even having a teaching job. My passion was there. So, just that honestly, that is probably the greatest that I had the opportunity to coach, and Green Run gave me that opportunity to show what I was taught when I was a player and growing up and all of that, and giving it to these young men at Green Run.
Yeah, you had some very great teams. If you look up in the history books, you had some very great players also. So, with
Yeah.
the new season on the rise for the Stallions, how do you feel your team will play?
Ooh, man, that's tough, man. We got a lot of no name guys now. When you got, it's crazy that the your 4 years. I mean, we easily could have had three state player of the years. One I actually didn't get it that year, but he was all state kid too. So you talking about, what we that history and what these guys are about to play. But I mean, we gonna go in it and compete. Our guys are gonna compete hard. Um, can't wait to get them together just to build that culture. And we have a good feeder with our young guys in Larkspur and the guys that come from Plaza and Larkspur. Those are some tough kids. So we're gonna see what it holds, man. I'm trying to do 4 years and keep it going up until I can get to my son and stop. So that's my goal. I don't want to be in this to just be coaching, man. So hopefully next year, uh, I mean, with I know right now with three seniors that we have coming up, Xavier and Derek and Aiton. I mean, they were able to taste it. So hopefully they're ready to do what they're supposed to do and lead these guys.
Yeah, no, you got some great young kids coming through. You have, I think, like you said, you got some rising seniors. So along with those names, who are some players that we should be on lookout for the upcoming season?
I mean, I think that Isaiah would definitely become a good player for us. Um, we'll see with some young kids. I don't want to get too much credit because a lot of them ain't earned the credit yet. Isaiah Chisholm is a good player, but with those three names, they gotta work. So I mean, I'm anxious to see if they can they become one of the best defensive teams I've coached. That's going to be one of our goals is, how great are we going to be defensively? So, uh, I would say that's what I'm more looking at for anyway.
All right, so for our last full question before we get into our lightning round, throughout your team, might be a woozy, throughout your tenure, who would you put as your starting five of all the players
Yeah.
that you've coached?
See, you really get me on the spot. And all because I'm on this, I'm gonna have to name it, but boy, I know I make some people mad, man. We had this debate, man. Um, I'm gonna give it a little shot though. I'm gonna give it a little shot. I might mess up somewhere there, but I mean, if I'm gonna do a start, you said starting five.
Yep, starting five. I'll
Okay.
even let you get a six man in there too.
All right. My point guard is Jacob Cooper. Uh, Ashley James is my is one start. I'm not gonna call those positions because I might go small. Let me see. I got Jacob. I got Ashley James. Um, I got kid named Jamal Mateen, who's a great player for me. I mean, he's probably had one of the best IQs um, that that was out of the world. He ended up going to Mount Olive. Man, I can't leave out. This is what gets hard. I can't leave out Tyler Blunt. Um, Easily the all-time leading three-point shooter at Green Range. It's the third leading scorer in Green Range history, where AJ had passed him being second. Jacob probably, if we had a full season, who knows what he would have been on that list. Oh man, so that's Jake, Tyler, AJ, Jamal, and then I'm gonna go. And it's crazy because, yeah, and this way it gets a little crazy because one, I'm gonna go with Jordan Davidson. He was my first year guy. Tough. I wish I could have coached him 4 years. He was tough. You know, very. He really got my career going my first year. And and the one that's the debate probably. He was a player of the year when I coached him as well. It could, these three names, and they all almost alike, in their own way. They were all double guys: Mark Hall, Sterling Carrington, and Sean Sanders. Those three guys were all three double guys. Mark was a double machine, and games where I know Sean had a 40-point game. Mark could have had one as well. Sterling wasn't a scorer like them, but he defended so well. So I know I named about 8 players and could name a few more because you got like Laquan Thomas, man, and I know I'm missing some people, but Eli. I didn't even name Eli, and he's a state player of the year. That's some good players, man, that I was fortunate enough to be around, man. I would love to see Eli and Tyler Blunt go have a 3-point shootout contest with each other. Man, would be awesome. And you can sprinkle J-Mac in that 3-point contest. It would be a good one. So, it's some good players that I've coached, man.
Yeah, you've coached a lot of talent. When I was posing this question to my brother, he is a graduate of Green Run also. He said when he saw
Mm,
Tyler play, because he was in the
man.
band, he was in the band, so they went to majority of the games some of the times. He said when he saw Tyler play, it was just like
Oh
amazing
man.
to him. He said he thought Tyler was going to be one of those guys going to be up in the NBA. But you coached a lot of talent, a lot of talent.
Yeah, Tyler was one of them kids too. His stat will say he was just 7 for 9 from the 3-point line. And I'm like, Tyler, how you miss 2 threes? Because I never thought he could miss. That's how crazy it was. When he missed, I got mad. I was like, man, how do you miss that shot? But he only missed 3 shots in the game. So, great. He was definitely a good player.
On to our lightning rapid fire round. We have 9 questions. I'll be fast and quick. First question:
Ooh,
who is your sports hero?
my sports hero, Magic Johnson. Always been my idol, I love him on the basketball court. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He does a lot, but he was my favorite player, one, because I'm a Laker fan, and he was my favorite all-time Lakers.
Next one: what are 3 reasons you like being a coach?
3 reasons. I love coaching kids. I love the game of basketball. I love to see kids successful, and I just love mentoring. That's what I do. I love mentoring young men and seeing them mold. So
Next one: what is the best part about competing?
the best part about competing, I love it. I like to play a game. Me and my best friend, we fought when we were kids and we competed. He beat me. I swung at him. I beat him. We liable to get punched. So I just love to compete. The adrenaline. Whether I coach against some very good coaches. And have conversations with them. Love to talk to them, but when that ball go up, man, it's I just love that edge, man.
Maybe throughout your athletic career, or maybe even you watching a game, who was your favorite coach and why?
I always been a Coach K guy. I love how he teach man to man. Um, as of lately, that changes. It went to Shaka Smart, like the way he pressed when he was at VCU. Um, these coaches, I see a lot of them now with a few guys, man, in Gonzaga, um, Jawan Howard, like how he doing things. So there's a few coaches out there that, and I'm naming college that I like. So.
All right. What is your favorite sports quote?
Man, my favorite sports coach. You got me on that one, but man, good question. Favorite sports coach. God. Woo, that is a lightning question. I want to say, shoot, I might say, go with my man EJ right now because he uses do more. I know that's not a quote, it's a slogan. But I mean, if you get a quote, and I read so many quotes too, and that's crazy. I read a quote every practice, man. So I ain't got a favorite though. That's a good question. I got to come back to with that. That's a good
Uh,
one.
I know you played basketball in high school. What was your greatest achievement as an athlete?
Oh, well, I'm from Danville, GW. Winning the state championship in 1998. I also played baseball there, and we were state run-ups. But definitely winning the state championship in '98 was definitely my biggest accomplishment as a high school, as an athlete.
Next one. What is your favorite song to listen prior to a game?
It's a good one. I got a lot. It changes every year. It's man, my son, he had me. My son for some year, he's young, but and my daughter, she's a junior, so they listen to these players and stuff. They got me listening to all this crazy. So King Von was a jam for me this year. Um, it was it depends. Like I had a routine, and well, this year, Hezekiah, my manager, he would be singing gospel songs, and that would get me going right before I speak to him. So I love that King Von for this year. It changes though, and I'm not a new guy, but then my past years, it was a guy Lou Sid, Green Run grad. He had a song Whole Squad that followed us, that followed Green Run. Why? And it still does. I call it the Green Run anthem. He's a former player at Green Run, so that would always bump in my ears too.
All right, the last one. What is your favorite movie about sports?
Ooh, good one again. Man, I love Coach Carter. Um, I Remember the Titans is my favorite though. Remember the Titans is my favorite because it kind of remind me of me a little bit, to where you got to do this. You got no choice, but we're gonna do it, And remember the Titans is definitely my favorite.
Well, I really appreciate you. I finally got to get my interview that I've been trying to get since freshman year. Really
Man,
appreciate you coming, talking with
no
me.
doubt. No doubt, man. Again, man, look, hopefully we can. I don't know how you gonna find somebody to take your place at Green Run, but we gotta find somebody, man. I've never seen a student do what you did at Green Run. And not only that, teachers, administration, everybody know when it comes to sports, and man, you did every sport this year, man, almost. You gonna do baseball too?
Yeah, I gotta learn. I'm not really a baseball guy per se, so I gotta learn a little
Okay.
bit before I dive in. I'm gonna try
So
to
can I
cover it.
let me ask you one question. You 4 years coaching. I mean, 4 years doing, being at Green Run. What was your favorite Green Run boys basketball game?
Um, this is a no brainer. It's a no brainer. When you guys beat Nansemond River,
Wow.
Nansemond River. Yep. I was sitting in the
There you
crowd.
go.
I didn't even know if I was gonna go. I was kind of scared. I was. What was I? I think I was a either sophomore or junior.
You was a sophomore.
Yeah, I was kind of scared going places, especially Norfolk. I was a little, I usually stay home. Didn't even know if I was gonna go. I'm so glad I went, and I got it on tape when AJ hit the half court shot, and
Yes,
it's
sir.
like, and it's crazy how everything went out. I feel like if Elijah Kennedy, who was a key bench player for you guys that year, if he did not get injured, that would have been a state championship ring for you guys too.
Right.
But it was just the certain events, him going down, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, so they're losing now, and then they're coming back, then they're losing, they're coming back, and then they hit the free
Man,
throws. I didn't even know he was gonna make it, but it just went straight in, and I got myself on
that's
video screaming.
that's crazy. Yeah, yeah, man. That probably was an easy one for you, man. I actually seen y'all there get snap, whatever, Snapchat, Instagram. I said, man, that thing there, that's one footage that'll never go away.
Yeah, I think yeah, I got it in my memorabilia section. Got the
Wow.
clipping.
There you go.
Yeah, this is
There
that's a
you
moment
go.
I think I'll probably never forget at all.
Wow. Hey, man, me either.
Yeah,
It was definitely a good one for the school. Man, 4 years of that, man, is and really seeing a lot of good basketball and good players, man. Again, like I said, you were able to see three of some tough players, man. So yeah, that was definitely a good game, though.
we're gonna end it now. Shout out to Coach Harris for letting me interview him again. Like I said, you've been watching Courtside Talk with Eric, doing sports the 757 way. Thank you.